Go. Eric. Eric,
What?
we got a show to do.
This really funny dream. We had to buy a new blimp.
Oh, yeah? Why? What was wrong with the blimp?
It was the engine. I could actually smell it in my dream. I think the engine was on fire.
Did it smell like it does right now?
Yeah, that's the smell. Flaming engine.
Where's Hal? Hal!
There he is.
He's outside fixing the engine, I guess.
Will, he's wearing a parachute.
I didn't know we had parachutes.
Casting a shadow over all of sports. This is broadcasting's most listened to blimp, the really big blimp, SportsBlimp.
Love is in the air, and so is the Sports Blimp. Hey everyone, it's Will Regan here. We are flying at a reasonable altitude above the Blue Gas Athletics Field just outside Little Rock, Arkansas. Today is a special day for Arkansans, especially single men and women who are about to compete in the annual Extreme Dating Olympics. Now, usually we're covering the sports the world loves, high-stakes competition between highly paid professional athletes, but today, because we found a sponsor for this broadcast, we're venturing into the world of reality radio. Now, with me, as always, is the man who was recently voted most eligible bachelor. It's Eric Rantman.
Well, thanks, Will. That was a while ago. I was on a cruise ship. I was the only one who didn't eat the tiger prawns that night, I guess. It seemed that I was the only bachelor left standing. Literally. Had my pick of the ladies, though. Two lovely ladies, both of whom had shrimp allergies.
Well, allergies pay off sometimes.
I'm not complaining.
Eric, this is a tradition in Arkansas that goes back decades, and to raise a little revenue, they decided to go national. So, if you don't have a significant other or you're just thinking about an upgrade, then you're more than welcome to come down south to the great state of Arkansas to grab that beau or gal of your dreams, but it's not always as easy as rolling around in the mud with someone you fancy, although that event is featured here too. There are many grueling physical challenges here that will test couples' fortitude and capacity for understanding.
Right. So dating, as we know it today, is a highly evolved art form for some, and for others, a series of nightmares that snowballs into a dark, hermetic existence.
The games here today will remind us of dating's prehistoric origins. If you go way back, there were no matchmakers, single bars, or mandatory DUI classes. In other words, places to meet a potential mate. Instead, there were primitive games of strength that men participated in to attract the womenfolk.
Right. We're talking about furniture throwing, speed leak patching, car pushing, the house painting relay.
Of course, that all changed in the 1960s. Thanks to women's liberation, women started joining in, and the boastful shows of physical prowess became contests that depended on the cooperation of the two sexes.
These games reflected the real-life challenges that were in store for the couple about to begin their married life.
But the best part about these games is that the couples competing together don't really know each other. This is the first time they've met. It's a really intense blind date.
Well, they meet minutes before the competition. It's all about getting to know the other person as you go head-to-head with other couples. And even if you lose, you might have good chemistry with your partner and decide to continue to date elsewhere.
Like a hospital.
So even losers can be winners.
And winners can be... Wait, can they? Anyway, we will introduce more of these games and the athletes in just a bit, but first, a word from one of our lovely sponsors, Shelby Downard's Bungie Wedding. Shelby Downard's Bungie Weddings will help you and your fiancé take the plunge. Still walking that fine line between permanent partner and married couple? We get it. You want a cool wedding, not a stuffy old ceremony in a chapel. Get outdoors in the fresh air and get married at speeds of up to 32 feet per second, guaranteed. All Shelby Downard's Bungie Weddings Bungie instructors are certified ministers as well. Plus, our extra strength bungee cords can hold up to 5 people in case you want to jump with your best man or maid of honor. Sure, romantic weddings in the beach are nice, but remember, all marriages have their ups and downs. If the two of you can survive this, you can survive anything. Shelby Downard's Bungie Weddings. Take the plunge already! Okay, well, we're about to get underway here with our first event in the Extreme Dating Olympics, the speed move. But first, let's talk about one of the great stories here today. Eugene Bankman.
Yeah, talk about a guy looking for love in all the wrong places. This is his third Olympics, and he still hasn't found a lady that's right for him. Or maybe he just isn't right for any lady.
Maybe third time's the charm for old Eugene.
Actually, third time is the limit. The Extreme Dating Association rules state that an athlete cannot participate in more than 3 Olympics. So I'm afraid this is Eugene's last chance for love.
So we wish Eugene the best of luck so he can go home with a willing partner.
But I don't know why he doesn't use some of those popular social networking sites such as FaceSpace or LinkedUp. I found my wife through the website Getter. Then after 3 years, with the help of law enforcement, I found her again. She seems to be doing fine in Hawaii with her dentist friend. But I'm not giving up.
Let's talk about the main event today, the speed move.
Right. Our 2 couples square off in a timed event that involves loading a 1977 station wagon with their most precious belongings, TV, microwave, Thighmaster, into the wagon, and then pushing it 200 meters to the finish line. However, the big challenge this year will be loading that lazy boy into the vehicle.
You mean the chair or that young man in overalls laying by the river with a straw hat and a fishing line tied to his big toe?
The chair.
This, of course, simulates a possible eviction by the local sheriff. Playing the sheriff today is local actor and trade fair pitchman, Boomer Knowles. He's also our eyes on the ground today. Boomer, are you there?
Hey, man.
Boomer, have the contestants paired up yet?
Oh, yeah, they're paired and doing that new couple dance. You know, they're sort of nervously shifting and stretching, giggling and...
The fans are also a big part of this event. The crowd is mostly single men and women who are not only fans of extreme dating, but on the prowl themselves.
Boomer, you've got a good sense of the crowd down there. Do people seem excited about the games this year?
Oh, shoot, yeah. I mean, there's more excitement down here than an Elvis sighting at a Memphis gas station. Of course, a lot of people are here to see Eugene Bankman, including his mother. His parole officer is here, too.
Let's take a look at our 2 couples. We have Carl Younger, a high school janitor from Deer Bath, Illinois, teamed up with Tina Smalls, a claims adjuster from Hollow Rock, Kentucky. They seem to make a good couple. Carl, a Capricorn, is a stunning 6'5" with a 6'7" wingspan. Meanwhile, Tina, a Republican, is a stout 5'2" with blonde hair tied up in a frizzy little haystack on top of her head.
And as for the other couple, we're looking at veteran bag boy and local hero Eugene Bankman from Bear City, Arkansas. He's going to be teamed up with Justine Couch, an occupational therapist from Cowlick, Tennessee. In his spare time, Eugene likes to create giant hamster balls for humans and race them downhill. Meanwhile, Justine likes origami and takes improv classes at the local community college. Things don't look good for Eugene, though. Not only does he have to compete physically against a freak of nature like Carl Younger, he has to impress Justine, who seems a bit out of his league intellectually.
But don't forget about the LL factor.
The LL factor?
Lovable loser. Eugene's got that in spades.
I hear you, Will. I mean, some ladies can't help falling for a loser. That's why my mother married my father all those times.
And now we see our 2 couples getting set inside the house, which is really just a wall with a door in it. Once the race starts, they have to carry all that furniture through that door and load the station wagon. Once everything is loaded, one person sits inside the vehicle while the other pushes.
Meanwhile, our mother-in-law will be yelling from the front porch at the couple, increasing the tension. Right, Boomer?
Yeah, we have Judy Bench, a retired rowing coach, to do the honors.
Remember, folks, the Speed Move is brought to you by the All Southern Shopping Channel. All the best deals for everything under the Mason-Dixon line. This week, when you order the Waffle Rocket, we'll send along Michelangelo's Ab Sculptor. Eat like a king, look like the statue of David. Remember, if you can't find it on the All Southern Shopping Channel, God didn't intend you to buy it. All right, we're about to get it on like King Kong in just a minute. As soon as Sheriff Boomer calls out the race, we'll be on.
All right, this is an official eviction notice. You're out of here.
Well, I'm ready to get out of town myself.
Our contestants seemed a little stunned for just a second, but now they are all about moving. Both sides scramble to get all the furniture out the door.
Will you two hurry up?
Well, Carl Younger and Tina Smalls seem to be focused on the big things, like the couch, the TV. Meanwhile, Eugene and Justine seem to have a different strategy. They're grabbing a lot of little things, like that bedside table, the lamp, and matching cockatoo, in order to save their energy for those big items later, I guess.
Meanwhile, Carl Younger, with his massive build, is not having any trouble tossing in trendy exercise machines you, of course, can also find on the Southern Shopping Channel, like the More Core.
Hey, the More Core, let me tell you something. It gives you more core. Y'all know about core muscles? They're the muscles you can't see, but they're the hardest working, and that's what the More Core does. It's an extreme rocking chair that isolates your core abdominals and sculpts you into a Renaissance statue-like physique. So I can't tell you how excited I am about these products.
We get it. Eugene Bankman coming out of the door now with a sewing machine, and he trips over a cream-colored ottoman with a coffee stain on it. He tripped and did sort of a comical somersault, almost in Dick Van Dyke fashion, and now the sewing machine appears to be broken.
And here comes Justine to let him have it. Remember, these couples have only known each other for a half an hour or so, but already they're behaving like a real couple under the circumstances.
What's she saying, Boomer?
Something about him being about as clumsy as her father.
Justine Couch failed the Second City auditions in Chicago last year, but clearly knows how to improvise in character. Eugene a little frazzled, obviously restraining himself, but he's clearly agitated. We might look for some passive-aggressive behavior to follow.
And they have to hurry here. Tina and Carl have already loaded almost all the important things into the car. Looks like Tina might be pushing. Carl is giving his massive biceps a rest and will steer.
So finally, Eugene and Justine exit the house with the lazy boy. Easy does it, as they don't want to drop another item.
What's the matter with you, Eugene? You move like a slug.
Hey, that chair, let me talk about that chair for just a minute. That chair is actually a new Massageathon 2000. It has a massage setting that lasts for 16 hours. It will change your life. And if you order now, you'll get a motion sensor triggered swordfish that sings when you walk past it.
Yeah, Manny Marlin. That's somewhere up in the attic, singing somewhere over the rainbow. Somewhere over the rainbow.
While Eugene and Justine carefully load the Massageathon 2000, Tina is busy pushing Carl in the station wagon, her face a glowing scarlet red.
She seems to also be hurling some insults of her own.
Uh-oh, what was that?
Well, Justine is holding her hand. Did you get a look at that, Boomer?
Justine got her hand sandwiched between the lazy boy and the car door while they were loading it in. Now she's calling Eugene all kinds of names that make a car salesman blush, but crowd's loving it.
Meanwhile, Carl and Tina have a good 3-car length head start and are steadily heading for the finish line.
Oh! Eugene tried to kiss Justine's hand to make the boo-boo go away, kind of a sweet gesture, but Justine just slapped him. Not a good first date.
Looks like Eugene is going home empty-handed again after his 3rd Olympics. Wow, that's a 12-year dating drought. I think he broke the record.
Well, Justine nurses that hand. She slides into the driver's seat. Eugene gets behind the station wagon and starts pushing. He's got to push like a boomer. Help me out here.
Like a farmer pushing a dead horse.
Okay, that'll do for now. Anyway, Tina is slowing down and is clearly having a rough time pushing a station wagon, not only loaded with exercise equipment, but also a man the size of a boomer. No, wait, no, don't. It's okay. Just a large man in the driver's seat. She stops to take a breather.
You can hear Justine shouting at Eugene there. Justine seems impatient and wants things to speed up, but she has to let Eugene settle in here and get his groove back.
Tina doesn't look too good on the other side of the track. Carl is now outside of the car. I think he's going to push now and give his partner a break. Carl comes around to the back of the car, gives his partner a reassuring pat on the back, and then walks back to the driver's seat and sits down. So it looks like Tina, who is just standing there stunned at her partner's lack of empathy, will have to push the rest of the way.
Carl and Tina were the odds-on favorite to win the wagon push and get hitched after the competition, but things don't look too rosy now.
Hey, if I did that, my wife would literally drop kick me into a river. Any river.
How'd you ever get hooked up with a tugboat like him?
So Tina gets to push him, but now Eugene is catching up, and here comes Eugene.
It seems like things could really turn around for Eugene. Imagine what winning this race would do for his confidence, his love life, maybe even his job. You know, winners get promoted. Maybe it's time to don a cashier's apron at the old Pick and Slim's market, where Eugene is currently head bag boy. But there are bigger fish to fry for him, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think mostly in meat and poultry.
Thank you, Boomer. Now, the cars are neck and neck, each contestant nervously glancing over to watch the other's progress. Tina is clearly having a harder time of it. She starts to stumble a little. Eugene keeps pushing as Justine's chanting like the incessant drumming inside an Egyptian slave ship spurs her potential partner on to greatness.
Tina, at this point, is not even pushing. She's just leaning her weight on the car, inching forward. Carl better help her.
Meanwhile, Carl is trying to find a radio station he likes in a car with a dead engine. And Eugene is fast approaching the finish line. He's almost there, but... oh no! Tina is down! I repeat, Tina is down. Tina is lying face down on the asphalt. Everything's stopped now. Even Eugene has stopped.
Justine is still shouting at Eugene, but he's going back to where Tina is.
Yes, Eugene has stopped pushing the wagon just 3 feet before the finish, and now he seems to be going back to check on Tina. The two meet for the first time. They shake hands cordially, and now Eugene is motioning to her to climb on his back. She smiles, and the two lock eyes for a moment.
That's the look of love, boys. I only seen that twice. Once when my wife and I first met, and then again when my daddy caught a yellow-bellied bass. First one of the season.
It looks like Tina has finally found her knight in shining sunglasses.
And now Eugene is attempting to give Tina a piggyback ride. Eugene struggling mightily to get to his feet. Whoa, almost fell.
He did it!
Yes, with Tina clinging to his back like a koala with heat stroke, Eugene has stood up, and it looks like Tina has finally found someone she can rely on. And Eugene has finally found someone.
That piggyback ride didn't last long, and now they're holding hands and looking deep into each other's eyes.
I think I hear wedding bells, or it's just the crowd noise in my tinnitus.
Well, folks, I wish we were at ground level and could look deep into your eyes and say a sincere thank you for listening to the SportsBlimp today. As always, keep it tuned to the SportsBlimp for exciting sports action. Coming up next week, we've got more squat ball.
That's right. It's the divisional playoffs at Battle Creek, Michigan, where the Dowsers will host the Beloit Bashers. Should be a blast. Oh.
Thanks again to our man on the ground, Boomer Knowles. Boomer, anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I'll be Trigorin at the Little Rock Theater this month in a production of The Seagull. And also, come see me at the Water Filtration Expo at the Grand Plaza downtown Little Rock. Folks, I'll be happy to see you.
As always, from myself and Eric Rantman, we want to wish you more than a sporting chance here on the SportsBlimp All Sports Radio Network.
Oh. SportsBlimp is produced and distributed with a grant from the Goodyear Dirigible Company in Bucyrus, Ohio. Many of America's other favorite sports are played in the shadow of the SportsBlimp.